The Ford Everest Titanium 4x4 is the most feature-packed, the most high-tech PPV in its class. But unfortunately, the next most expensive variant, the Ford Everest Titanium 4x2, isn't as well endowed when it comes to features. It doesn't come with a 360 camera, it doesn't come with ADAS, which a lot of its competitors in the same price bracket have. Now that's a problem that Ford addresses here on the Ford Everest Wildtrak 4x2. This is now the most expensive 4x2 variant of the Ford Everest. But unlike the Ford Everest Titanium 4x2, this is loaded with features. Is it worth your money? Let's find out. Now starting here at the front, the Ford Everest Wildtrak gets the Ranger Wildtrak's front end. You have these bull bar-like accents over here finished in gunmetal. You get these Matrix LED headlamps, which was only previously available on the top of the line Titanium 4x4. Now these headlights can direct the beam away from oncoming traffic. They're also steering sensitive, so when you turn the wheel, the light beam can point towards the direction that you're going. So these are definitely very useful when you're driving on twisty roads, especially at night. If you want to see how this performs, you can check out my Ford Everest Titanium 4x4 review. You have a front camera over here, and you also have cameras all around the car because the Everest Wildtrak now comes with a 360 camera, which was lacking on the Titanium 4x2. Now, a lot of the accents here are finished in dark gunmetal. Like the grille is finished in gunmetal. These fender moldings over here are finished in glossy, dark gunmetal. Also the side mirrors. The wheels are 20 inches like on the Titanium 4x4 and 4x2. But this design over here is exclusive to the Everest Wildtrak. You have this 6-spoke two-tone design over here. You have silver and matte black. They're wrapped in 255 series Goodyear Territory tires. The door openers are finished in body color. You have functional roof rails over here and a plastic step board. Now here in the Philippines, we'll get 4x4 and 4x2 variants of the Everest Wildtrak. Now one way of telling them apart from the outside is that the Everest Wildtrak 4x4 has a bi-turbo badge over here. Here in the Philippines, we get two engine options for the Everest Wildtrak. For the 4x2 variant, we get a single turbo 2-liter engine, which puts out about 160 plus horsepower, the same as the regular variants of the Everest. For the 4x4 variant, we get a 2-liter bi-turbo engine, the same engine that you find on the Titanium 4x4. Now that puts out over 200 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. Now unlike in Australia, we don't get a V6 option for the Ford Everest Wildtrak. Now here at the back, it looks the same as the Everest Titanium 4x4, except that you get Wildtrak badging over there. You get a power lift kit. The Everest Wildtrak now gets power folding third row seats, which was only available before on the Everest Titanium 4x4. So to fold the seats, just press these buttons over here. And to fold them back up, just press the same buttons.
The Everest has one of the most spacious cargo spaces among PPVs in the Philippines, and we definitely have enough space here to fit our sponsor for today.
Introducing the AutoSport Mobility Scooter, the world's most innovative mobility scooter. It folds into a small suitcase size, and it has wheels so you can move it around like a trolley. It separates into two parts. It has leather seats and grips, an illuminated LCD dashboard, enhanced lighting for extra visibility, You can install optional armrests. It's perfect for seniors as it's easy to lift and unfolds in seconds. It has a maximum speed of 10 kph, shock absorbing flat free tires, high ground clearance, advanced braking system, be free to travel anywhere, land, sea or air. It has 20 kilometers of continuous driving range. Engineered with flair, designed with passion for performance. Be active, be free, be yourself. Atto Sport, moving life.
On the inside, you get almost all the tech of the Titanium 4x4. Like you get this 12-inch infotainment screen over here. This has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You also have a 360 camera now, which is not available on the Titanium 4x2. Let me show you what it looks like. So there you go. There is no 3D mode though, like on the MUX. Okay. You also now get this bigger 12-inch instrument cluster. It's fully digital. It's also very customizable. You'll find most of the changes here on the steering wheel. As you can see, we have a lot more buttons now. This now comes with adaptive cruise control, autonomous braking, lane keeping assist, which were absent on the Titanium 4x2. You got plenty of ambient lighting here. Now orange is the signature color of Wildtrak, and we got plenty of orange stitching all over the interior. We also get Wildtrak badging on the seats. Both front seats are power adjustable. Also, both front seats get adjustable lumbar support. You got a panoramic sunroof here. As for storage, the glove box is the same as the Titanium 4x2 and the 4x4. It is also not dampened, which is one of my complaints about the Everest. For a car in this price bracket, this should at least be dampened so it doesn't bounce like that. We also have a second glove box over here. At least that one is dampened. You have a wireless phone charger, dual USB ports, one of which is a USB-C port. You have plenty of storage over here, two cup holders, a bit of storage for coins. This is actually a holder for your French fries. Yeah, you got this huge center armrest over here with plenty of storage underneath. You have multiple buttons here. You have your different drive modes. You have your traction control off button. You have an electronic parking brake, but still we don't get a physical auto hold button. You have to go through the screen if you want to enable auto hold. Where is it again? It's somewhere over here. I've driven the Everest so many times and I still can't remember how to turn on auto hold. Yeah, definitely the Everest has the best looking interior among PPVs, and the Everest Wildtrak just takes it up a notch. It just looks a bit better, especially with these ambient lighting over here and these glossy accents. It just looks more modern than any other PPV. Here at the back, here at the second row, we get air vents here, and also on the other side you have a dedicated fan speed control over here, two USB ports, one USB-C and one USB-A. You also have an AC power outlet over here, map pockets in both front seats. You also have a foldable armrest with two cup holders, and like the Titanium 4x4 and 4x2, you got a panoramic sunroof over here. It extends all the way to the top of my head. Okay, so here at the third row, space is not class leading. I have about this much space for my knees, but the second row seats can be moved forward and back.
Unfortunately, the footage is a bit too dark, but the space is the same as the other Everest variants. It's not class leading, it's not as spacious as the third row of the MUX, The flooring is a bit high and there's not as much knee room. It is still better though than the third row seats of the Terra and the Fortuner. You also get toys here such as air vents, a 12-volt outlet, and cup holders on both sides.
The Ford Everest Wildtrak 4x2 sells for 2,379,000 pesos, while the Wildtrak 4x4 sells for 2,640,000. The Wildtrak 4x2 is now the most feature-packed 4x2 PPV in the Philippines by a huge margin. It has almost all the features of the 4x4 except for the engine, the 4x4 bits, and the electronic shifter. And if you just want a high-tech, feature-packed PPV and you don't care about going off-road, this will give you almost all the features of the 4x4 without the extra weight and without the fuel consumption penalty.
The Everest Wildtrak 4x2 sells for about 100,000 pesos more than the Titanium 4x2, but it includes a lot more features, including ADAS features like adaptive cruise control, autonomous braking, blind spot warning. It now has a 360 camera, which is very helpful when you're driving a large SUV like this. You get adaptive matrix LED headlamps, you get power folding third row seats. I think 100,000 is a small price to pay for all those additional features. If you found this video informative and if you'd want to watch my full review of the Everest Wildtrak 4x2, do click on that subscribe button. Thanks to Ford Auto Hub BGC for letting me film the Everest Wildtrak 4x2. If you want to see the Wildtrak 4x2 in person, you may contact Jericho Hanolo at the number displayed on the screen.